Hi all, it's Thanksgiving here in the States, a time to spend with family and friends, a time to slow down a bit and reflect on what is really important in our lives and be thankful for whatever that is. We're working on a few great episodes with some longtime listeners that I consider subject matter experts in the coming weeks that I'm super excited about. But for today, well, I have a few questions that I was sent in that I wanted to get to and, keeping with the theme, speak to a couple of things that I'm thankful for. Let's start today with the word attendance. An associate received a written coaching regarding their being absent 4 days in a 30-day period. The supervisor also, just verbally, brought up their tardiness. The associate had been tardy 8 times in that same 30 days. Now, the associate shared that they had been spoken to about the absences twice before the coaching or the write-up, and they knew a written coaching was going to be the next step, but disagreed why it was such a big deal. So let's talk about this individual's work history and a couple of differences in their previous industries versus our light industrial and warehousing task and why our attendance is so important. The individual has been working in the workforce for almost 6 years, did almost 2 years in the fast food sector and 2 more in the front of house restaurant world, and most recently had been working in retail. They mentioned a big box chain. Throughout their career, they felt the pay was decent, but the hours, the inconsistent schedules, all the weekend work, and lack of hours just wasn't working for them as their life responsibilities and bills had grown. They had a friend working for a national food service distribution facility and wanted to get a job there. So they applied and was hired. Day 1 was an experience like no other, was the way that they put it to me. They felt like they were at boot camp. The orientation covered all the company dress codes, the safety procedures, where you could walk and where you couldn't, how to use a fire extinguisher, where the eye wash station was and how to use it, how to navigate the SDS book, the importance of keeping a clean work area, ergonomics, and proper lifting techniques, and how to evacuate the building if necessary. And they said the rules went on and on. Their job was loading the delivery trailers. They were hired on at the same hourly wage as they were making while at the retail big box store. However, week 1 gave them 52 hours versus the 30-ish that they were receiving in the food and retail worlds. They were tired and worn out, but really liked the physical aspect of the task and really liked the first check after week 2. With that first check in hand and in the bank, well, the weekend had been a long one. Both Friday and Saturday nights had been spent with friends, so Sunday night they called in. Now, as many of you know, Sunday and Mondays, like Fridays, are not the best shifts to call in on in the fast-paced world of distribution. Monday night, right after the shift startup meeting, the supervisor called them over and asked why they didn't make it in Sunday night. Now, while honesty is always appreciated and is the right story to tell, the associates shared that they had partied over the weekend and was just worn out Sunday. Of course, that can be okay in the food service and retail industries, but there's usually backup that can be called in or the employer can get by if needed. But, and as their supervisor explained, that their productivity had been missed, and the team had to work much harder to get the loads out without them. The attendance policy was reviewed, and the supervisor had stressed that this verbal warning needed to be taken seriously. From what I could tell from speaking with them, the associate was good at their job, and the company's management felt like they could be a great asset. 2 weeks in, the employees shared they had missed that one day and had been tardy twice, but only by less than 10 minutes. Well, on the 4th tardy, the supervisor had spoken with the associate about the importance of being at our workstation on time and attending the startup meeting to know what the case counts for the night were, to stretch out our muscles and review the safety topic for the shift. The associate felt like the supervisor was being a bit what they called overboard. At their other places of employment, they'd never been counseled on tardiness and attendance. They shared with their friend who worked there that they were getting into trouble. The friend told them they'd been lucky to still have a job and to get their act together. On day 36, after coming in 7 minutes late, they were terminated. In our industry, well, and I don't mean the restaurant and retail worlds or any other jobs are any more flexible or less dangerous, but working in a warehouse is what I like to call the bigs. And yes, I'm a bit biased of our light industrial industry. We can make very good money, and it's an industry that we can grow in any direction with. The supply chain is a huge industry with tens of thousands of different positions. But with all that comes responsibilities. I won't break off into a rant of those responsibilities and expectations today, but, and I think we all know that, our jobs are important to us and for our employers, and most importantly, our teammates. You know, the moral to the story is, we accept a job knowing the shifts, times, and scheduled days. Yes, things are going to come up, life is going to get in our way, and that's why it's important to not abuse time off and tardiness. That way, it'll never become a problem. Work-life balance is absolutely important. Jobs in the bigs pay well. The pace has to be enjoyed to be successful. And when accepting a position, we need to consider all the expectations. And remember, safety is our first priority. That's really all I'm trying to say. And now a quick success story. I was visiting a warehouse this week. I have an associate working with an agency that's been with this account for just a little under 90 days. She had started her assignment as a GL, literally just building boxes at an e-commerce facility. While walking with the account manager, he pointed her out and shared that she was transitioning to their team next week, and he would probably be promoting her to a lead position shortly after that. You know, when she was hired, she had very little warehouse experience. She had actually targeted that facility. It was close to where she lived. She had researched the reviews of other employees prior to applying with the agency that sourced for their positions. After 30 days of great attendance and working any hours that she was offered, she approached her lead and expressed a desire for more responsibilities. Now all that is coming true for her, and I wish her great success. This won't be her last promotion. You may have heard me say I've only worked a handful of days in my life. I honestly wake up and look forward to going in every day. I have always loved what I do. I've done most every task in warehousing and transportation and held most management positions that were offered, along with all of their responsibilities. I can say I love my job, every job that I've held, and I'm thankful for each of them. And I'm thankful for every person I've met along the way, every mentor that's given me their time, and I'm thankful to know each of you. For the month of December, we'll be offering a live question and answer on Thursday evenings if anyone is interested in joining us. I'll be posting the link on our Facebook page, Warehouse and Operations as a Career, and you can find it using that little @ WHSEOPS and a couple of our more frequented Facebook job boards. It'll be the first time for that kind of format. We'll see what it brings. For this week, think of at least one thing you're thankful for and share it with someone. I hope to see you again next week, and until then, be safe out there.